From the Arkansas Weather Watchers Weather Center, this is a severe weather alert.
All right, guys, I should be back up and running now here. So let me know in the comments a couple of things here. I got folks that are watching. I need to know audio levels, and I need to know if you guys are having any issues or not. I apologize for the previous live stream here. We had some internet issues up here at the tower. We will get that taken care of over the next, hopefully next 12 hours or so here. So, fortunately, you know, there's always a blessing in disguise. I was actually able to get you guys a timing map up. So we're gonna wait for a few more comments to come in here, guys. Like I said, I apologize for the issues. If y'all can come in, looks like everything's fine and ready to go here. Okay, so we're good. Let's gonna try to make this quick here, guys, so we can kind of talk about it, and then we'll get ourselves ready for tomorrow here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, looks like we're good. All right. Here's what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over the timing real quickly here. So I was able to get that up and running here. So I'm going to step off screen for just a little bit, and we're going to talk from Western Arkansas all the way over to Eastern Arkansas here. So from Fayetteville, Harrison, all the way down towards the Queen over here in Western Arkansas. I'm going to go for about, let's go 5 p.m. over there in Western Arkansas. Mainly it's going to be a supercell threat over here. I think the closer you get to the Arkansas-Oklahoma border, the earlier your timing is going to be here. So I wouldn't be shocked over here in far western Arkansas late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, that we get some storms that may try to get going right around that 4 or 5 o'clock time frame. But I do think from this area here, I think 5 o'clock is a good starting point. I think 6 p.m. to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning will be your best time frame over here in western Arkansas. Mainly a supercell threat. Supercells will go into a squall line over here in western Arkansas, and that squall line will push eastward in time here. So the tornado threat, a couple of these could be strong over here in western Arkansas. Then this will transition over to a damaging wind threat and a very large hail threat over here in western Arkansas from Fayetteville, Harrison, all the way down towards the Queen here. Now, let's go over further to the east, and let's talk about north central down in the southwest Arkansas. The reason why I'm off the screen, by the way, so you guys can see the entire map, by the way. So from Mount Home to Little Rock, all the way down towards Texarkana, Magnolia, and El Dorado, I'm going to go for 11 p.m. tomorrow night as an early start time. I wouldn't be shocked, especially my folks over here closer to this red line. That will be from, I'd say, from Russellville, Mount Ida, all the way down towards near the Texarkana area. I wouldn't be shocked if you guys started, let's call it 9, 10 p.m. But I think for much of this area, this time frame will be from midnight tomorrow night to about 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning here. So I want to make this clear. For much of the day tomorrow morning, early tomorrow afternoon, things are going to be dry. I want to make that crystal clear. We're not expecting anything during the morning hours or the early afternoon. So don't come on Facebook trying to call us out and saying, hey, nothing's going on right now, when we're clearly saying that this is going to be a late afternoon, evening, going into the overnight hour threat for us here across the state. Further to the east over here in eastern Arkansas, from Blytheville, Jonesboro, all the way down towards Crossett, I'm thinking about 1 o'clock in the morning tomorrow night going into Saturday morning. Not tonight, not Thursday night going into Friday. Friday night going into Saturday morning here. I'm thinking 1 o'clock will be your best time. And then I would say from about 2 a.m. till 10 o'clock in the morning, that's for that area over there in eastern Arkansas. That's going to go for Saturday morning, not tomorrow morning. Okay, I want to make that crystal clear for tomorrow night going into Saturday morning. That's the tricky part about these overnight events, because they can get pretty confusing timing-wise here. Okay, and I think this should come to an end right around lunch on Saturday, but by then we'll be tracking potentially a flooding threat for us here in Arkansas. So for those that wonder, by the way, why we take our time getting timing maps out, it's because when it's an overnight event and you talk about it a day before, it gets confusing, because people will think that it's for tonight, but in reality, it's for tomorrow night. So we got this done. We've got it out here, but going forward, we don't put timing maps out, especially for overnight events, until the day of, because it cuts down to confusion, if that makes sense here, okay? So There's the timing. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to step on this side of the screen, and I'm going to ask and see if we can get some questions going here. Like I said before, I apologize for all the issues tonight, guys. I love this comment as well here. Download the Arkansas Weather Watchers weather app. That's going to be on Google and Apple, and you can also download us on Fire TV as well for 24/7 coverage across the board here. So I've got the timing up. Let me see here. I'm going to go over to the questions real quickly here. Derek, if you can do me a favor. You've got it over there, and all you got to do is control the mouse to my computer. So, hey, you see on my right side over here, you see where I'm moving my mouse? You just click that. It's just for right now because I'm blocking the timing behind me. So just pull the questions up, and we can get it from there, guys. So it looks like we're good. Everybody's tuning in. If y'all could do me a favor, get everybody into this live stream. That would be awesome. What was that? That one right there. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, serious business. If I'm in the suit, yeah, we got a level 3 over there in Western Arkansas. So I figured I'd bring out the suit for this event, guys. Here. So let's see here. Good evening, Cam. That's Stacy over there in Gilmer, Texas. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well over there. Stacy over there in Texas here. I know y'all have some severe weather tonight, actually, and then tomorrow here. And by the way, guys, this is not the only time we're gonna have severe weather. We've got to watch early next week, too. We've got another threat coming in as we move into Monday and Tuesday of next week here. So the active pattern is here to stay here for a little bit. So are we talking severe weather or tornadoes here? Both, Jamie. So we're talking, I think what's going to happen over here in Western Arkansas, I think you will probably, if anyone in the state has a higher threat of seeing tornadoes tomorrow, it's going to be in this zone over here in Western Arkansas. But what I think what will happen is as this line pushes to the east, it will become what we call a QLCS tornado threat. Basically, it will be a squall line that we'll have to watch, and a long set squall line. There will be rotations along it, and that's where you would have to watch for that tornado threat further east. But I think if there were to be like those isolated cells by themselves that carry that strong tornado threat, I do think it's going to go for our folks over here in northwestern Arkansas tomorrow here. Looking professional. Thank you so much, John, man. I hope you're doing well, brother. Let's see here. Like I said, I'm leaving this timing map up so that way it answers a lot of the timing questions here. So here's the deal about the Little Rock area, because I know there's a lot of PTSD from the March 31st event that happened a couple of years ago. We cannot forecast who and what and where a tornado is going to hit. Okay, we cannot do that. What we can do is say, hey, this area has a strong tornado potential. This area has the ingredients there. But we cannot forecast and say, hey, this is where we're going to have that potential. Are we having issues over there, guys?
No, you're fine.
We're good? Okay. All right. So we cannot do that. We cannot forecast who and what and where a tornado is going to hit. But what I would say is, yes, Little Rock has a strong tornado threat tomorrow. Okay. Although lower compared to Western Arkansas, Little Rock does have a strong tornado threat tomorrow here, especially tomorrow night. So I would recommend a couple of things. Making sure that you have a storm shelter ready to go. Make sure you're being weather aware. That means, keeping an eye on the radar, staying with us, and making sure that if a warning does get issued, you know what to do here. Also, another thing, too, is I got a lot of people here. You see that big old QR code over there on the right side of the screen? Go check that out, guys. Especially if you know it's someone that lives in a rural area where they just use landlines and whatnot. That is a very good weather call service over there, and it will be very crucial, especially during these overnight events that Arkansas likes to have here. So what is the likelihood of Western Arkansas getting upgraded to a moderate from Hunter? Right now, I'm going to say no, and the only reason why I'm saying no is because it looks like your biggest lift is going to be just too far northwest for Arkansas to get a massive outbreak out of this. Now, keep in mind, you're 12 hours away from anything popping off here. I can wake up tomorrow morning. This happened. I'm trying to remember the event that this happened that we woke up. I want to say it was either November 4th or 22, or it was December 10th of 21, where we had an enhanced risk, and it looked like much of the lift was going to be north of Arkansas, and then we woke up the next morning and there was a moderate. So right now, just off of my honest opinion, I'm going to say no. I think they will likely leave it at level 3. Further west, across northeastern Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas, that might be a different story. We'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, if it does move further east, we'll let you know. But right now, I'm going to say no to it. But it was a good question. A very, 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 very good question here. So, as the system moves east later in the night, does the threat decrease some from Ainsley here? That's your daughter's name there. So yes, to an extent. The only reason why I'm saying it won't completely go away is because the problem with overnight events is, although you lose your daytime heating, your wind shear picks up rather significantly, guys. So the biggest thing I would say is stay weather aware, even though it is going to be an overnight threat for much of Arkansas. Just stay with us, okay? It's going to decrease some. It's not going to be like for Western Arkansas, for example. Let's say Northwest Arkansas goes moderate, okay? Obviously, your bigger severe threat is going to be here in Western Northwest Arkansas. But I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to go away for Central and Eastern Arkansas. It just means that there's going to be some decrease, but it's not going to go away. I fully anticipate that we may have, dealing with warnings 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning over here across Central and Eastern Arkansas, late Friday night and Saturday morning here. It just depends on how the storms get going in Western Arkansas and how they behave as they move eastward here. So, has anywhere been upgraded to a level 3? If so, could the trend continue? Could the trend favor an upgrade here? So, I'm going to go back over to this graphic here. Give me just 1 second, and I will show you that graphically here. So, this is the level 3. From Harrison, Fayetteville, all the way down towards the Mena area here. That's where that level 3 is right now. I'm going to say, in my personal opinion, this should not go for level 4. It shouldn't. If it does, I think it's going to be out west. I think in northeastern Oklahoma, and especially in Kansas, I think that's where that moderate is probably going to be. But I would say up there from Harrison over towards Fayetteville, we'll watch it, but I think the level 3 is in a really good placement from the Storm Prediction Center here, guys. Here, so let's see. Any chance of the zones being moved eastward here? I think that's a really good timing, but obviously we're Thursday night. Things can and will change as we move into tomorrow here, guys. And like I said before, I'm going to go to Sue's comment here because she couldn't see the start time for Western Arkansas. Folks, I love y'all to death, and I love y'all coming in these live streams. We have a full Facebook page that has nothing but graphics and posts and everything like that. You're already on the live stream. Go follow us on the main page. I promise you, as soon as this live stream's over, you're going to get all the information you need in terms of timing, in terms of risk, all that stuff. So if I don't go over in the live stream, I promise you, you're not going to miss it as long as you are paying attention to our main Facebook page that has all those graphics and stuff like that here, okay? So what are your thoughts on the tornado threat for Faulkner and Perry counties? Sorry about that. I'm going to go over to this graphic here because I've had a lot of questions about the tornado threat here. So obviously, northwestern Arkansas, I think the tornado threat is going to be where your highest is going, where the highest is going to be, over there in Harrison, Fayetteville, over towards Mena. My folks in Central Arkansas, like I said before, I know there's a lot of PTSD here. It's been a very active last couple of springs here in Arkansas, and majority of them have featured, the Little Rock tornado. We had the wind tornado, all those high-end tornadoes we've had over the last couple of years here. So, although, yes, there is a strong tornado threat in Central Arkansas, and yes, there is a tornado threat in Central Arkansas tomorrow night, I don't fully anticipate this to be a massive, high risk, level 5 out of 5 tornado threat across the area here. But what I will say is, with it being a nighttime threat here, Derek, if you do me a favor and pull up Bianca's comment, Blanca's comment, sorry, I mispronounced that. She made a great point. I know it's scary during the overnight hours. I 100% agree, okay? Dealing with tornadoes during the day is somewhat manageable because you can see it. You can get people into shelters and all that. At nighttime, it's a completely different story because you can't see it. And also at nighttime, especially here in Arkansas, most times they're wrapped in some sort of squall line or whatever here. But what I would recommend is making sure that you're staying weather aware, that you stay with us, and we're going to be live if any warnings get issued tomorrow night here. I want to make that clear. But I understand the storm anxiety, guys. I get it. The last couple of springs, it's been just chaotic here in Arkansas. But as long as you stay with us, as long as you go over those safety plans tonight, like what I would do is, if you're with family and friends right now, I would say, hey, what's the game plan for tomorrow night? Who's going to be where? If there were to be a warning, can we get to this shelter and stuff like that? I would go over that with the people that you're going to be with tomorrow night. and just have that game plan ready to go. And when a tornado warning gets issued, you get into a shelter. If you got a storm shelter, great. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure that center part of the home, that's a closet, bathroom, that could be any kind of room, as long as it doesn't have windows. Make sure that's cleaned out tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, and you're going to be good to go. I promise you. It's not the first event we've had, and it will not be the last one here. So another thing too here, and I don't like doing this on live streams here, but I'm going to do it real quickly, guys. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, okay? Our team goes through enough with people calling us out and calling and saying hype and, chastising us and everything. Our team goes through that a lot, okay? And I'm going to defend them all the way through. So if you don't have anything nice to say, or you don't like how our coverage is, there's other pages out there that you can go to. I want to make that clear, okay? Our team is not going to tolerate any disrespect. I get the anxiety is high right now in Arkansas with the spring coming up and everything. That's no excuse to be rude to our team. That is volunteers, by the way, making sure that you guys are being safe and getting the information and all that here. So I've got a team of moderators. I have no problem getting rid of people that can't be respectful or can't be nice in those comments, guys. I want to make that clear right now here. Okay. So yeah, what's up? Are we having problems again?
No, something good to go over.
Okay.
Would be the new hatched explanation, like the risk since it's brand new.
Okay. I don't have a graphic for it. That's the problem. I don't have a graphic for it here, guys. Okay. So what I will do, Derek, I'll do this because this. So SBC, if you guys are weather enthusiasts or you keep up with Storm Prediction Center, you guys know full well that they have came out with these new hatched areas here. Okay. So what we have done here at Arkansas Weather Watchers here, we're our own media group, and we get to do what we not really feel like, but what we think is better for the public in terms of communication. So there's 3 categorical risks. There's SIG 1, SIG 2, and SIG 3. I'm going to explain this tornado about while I have it here, okay? You see the EF2 up there, and then you see the EF4. The EF4 will never be issued unless there is a level 5 out of 5 high risk. But what we have done here is we've taken those new risks that the SPC has, and we've generated our own style, because we feel like when it comes to severe weather, we want you guys to be aware, but we also want to cut down on mass confusion, if that makes sense here. So going forward, you're going to see something like this here from Blytheville all the way down towards El Dorado, this risk here. This is what the SIG 1 and SIG 2 would be combined, because it's for EF2, EF3 tornadoes plus, and then an EF4. Guys, you got anything going on back there? What's up? Okay. All right. So that's pretty much how these risks are. And I'm going to make a graphic that's going to explain all this. I know there's a lot of new changes this spring here, but that pretty much explains what this is here. It's what those 3 SIG 1, SIG 2, and SIG 3 are, and it's just in our own version because we feel like this is the easier way to communicate it, if that makes sense here. Okay. So I'm going to go back over to timing real quick. I'm not going to make this live stream long because we've got to get ready for tomorrow. And then we'll go from there here. So from Caleb, I feel like tornado season is starting to shift, but what do you think it will start to calm down a bit? Honestly, I think, and I'm going to throw this out there too for those that are planting right now. I think middle part of the month is going to be pretty chilly. So if you've got any ideas of gardening and whatnot, I would not do it just yet. I think we will cool down towards the middle and late part of the month. And then obviously we'll pick back up in April here. But I wouldn't plant just yet here, because I think we're going to have another cold shot right around the middle part of the month here. But I think things should start to calm down towards the middle part of the month here. Okay. So thank you so much. I trust y'all over any other weather station. And talking about that too, tomorrow night, I love you guys to death. And I appreciate you guys with all the support and everything. I'm not Superman, okay? If there's a situation where there's 10 tornado warnings, I'm not going to be able to go over all 10 at once here. So what I want you guys to do here is go find those other reliable sources, okay? Whenever severe weather strikes, you shouldn't just have one source and stick with it. You should always have multiple ways of getting warnings. That's a weather radio, that could be a weather app, that could be anything. You should always have at least 3 or 4 sources to get weather information here. That way, if, let's say, if I'm talking about a storm in Southwest Arkansas, but you live in North, you're not missing any information, if that makes sense. And it's not going to offend us or anything like that. As long as they are reputable sources, I fully recommend you guys going to check them out here, guys. Okay, so Eastern Arkansas, I see that question. I'm going to urge caution here, okay? It is going to be late tomorrow night and early Saturday morning here. I got our team ready. I'm fully anticipating, similar to last night, that we will be covering warnings at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow night going into Saturday morning. Okay, if we're not, that's great. But if we are, we're going to be here. But I'm fully anticipating being up all night covering storms coming out from Western Arkansas here. So I've got the timing map up here. I just realized something. I'm going to step off the screen for a little bit. And I'll read the comments over here, guys, here. So, Derek, if you could put me up another question real quick. I had my back to the risk here. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of step off the screen for a bit. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? Okay. All right. So, what about Central Arkansas here? So I've got Central Arkansas up. We're going to be in that 2 zone here, so I'm going to pull it out here. So from Mount Home all the way down towards El Dorado, I'm thinking 11 p.m. tomorrow night, going into first thing Saturday morning here. From midnight to 8 o'clock is mainly going to be your time frame. And then I think by 10 a.m. Saturday morning, we should be putting it into this event. But like I said, unfortunately, we've got another threat going on as we move into Tuesday of next week here. So that's a really, 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 really good question, Rose. That's a really good question. I'm going to switch the graphic over just a second. I promise I'll bring the timing back up. Let me go over to this real quick. Let me go back for just a second. And also, another thing too, guys, I don't want you guys ignoring the wind and hail threat, because the hail threat is pretty significant over there in Eastern Arkansas, not Eastern Arkansas, Western Arkansas here. So this is like I said before, this is the significant tornado intensity outlook here. So she just asked a question about the tornado intensity further east here. From Blytheville all the way down towards El Dorado, you're going to carry that risk of these storms having that EF2 plus potential. That's the one thing I really like about these new outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center here, is because we can talk about the intensity of those tornadoes here and give you a better forecast. So I would say, unless you're in Eastern Arkansas, these storms over here in Central and Western, Northwestern Arkansas, if they can get going, if they can mature and get strong enough, they will carry that strong tornado threat. Either they will be in supercells in Western Arkansas, or they will be within a squall line coming in into Central and in Eastern Arkansas here. So that's a really, 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 really good question here, guys. Okay, I love that comment as well. You know, Ryan Hall's good. You know, they're not as Arkansas Weather Watchers here, but yeah, I appreciate you guys, but I'm not Superman. I dress like Superman, but I'm not Superman, guys. I can't cover 10 tornado warnings at once here. So I live in Mena and have to drive to Tulsa tomorrow midday. You're going to be good. You're going to be good. If you leave early enough, you're going to be good to go. I don't even anticipate those even out in eastern and northeastern Oklahoma to take off until probably 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So if you leave early enough and you get out there, you get there before lunch, you're going to be gravy going there here. So earlier you showed a higher tornado potential in that purple area here in Northwest Arkansas. Is let me see. Is it possible that the cap could hold it and let those storms pass by? Yes, that is always a potential. But I would show that graphic here. But I in the back of my mind, I wonder if that video triggered a lot of our issues. Because I saw our CPU go skyrocketing as soon as I sent it. So basically with that graphic that you saw earlier, it takes into account that if there's a potential cap. So I'm going to say right now, you theoretically would be correct. There is a potential that if the cap holds on long enough, storms pass through, you don't have to worry about it. But if those storms get strong enough, and with you being in northwestern Arkansas, you're going to be close to that storm system. If they go through the cap, then they're going to carry that strong tornado threat over there in northwestern Arkansas here. So once you've subscribed to the weather alerts, is there a good way to confirm it? Yes. So they should send you a demo phone call to confirm like your account and everything like that. I love that service. I'm glad those guys reached out to us. And we're very, very proud to work with them, especially when it comes to severe weather, because I think it's going to help save a lot of lives here. So I love that question here. Go back up, Derek, to Terry's comment with the difference between a watch and a warning for tornadoes here. So think of it like you are baking a cake. Okay. A tornado watch is pretty much you've got all your ingredients lined out. You've got your flour, your eggs, your sugar, all that. You got that lined out on the table. And then a tornado warning would be the cake's made. Hey, come get the cake, pretty much. Okay. So that's the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. A tornado watch means that we're watching for storms that have the capability of producing tornadoes. And then obviously a tornado warning is the tornado is either on the ground or we see it on radar and it's time to get in shelter here. That actually reminds me, Bernard's Pizza over there in Ward, we need to set up some sort of collaboration because they pretty much, I could set up a graphic to kind of further explain that here. Okay. So let's see here. I see a couple. Yeah, welcome to Team Weather Call. Yeah, John, like I said before, I really appreciate you reaching out to us and giving us that opportunity to get that, because like I said before, it's going to help save lives this spring when it comes to especially those overnight events here. So I saw that one question. Let me go back up. Derek, I got it for just a second. Let's see, southeastern Arkansas, they're going to get potential tornadoes here. Now, southeastern Arkansas, right now, I think you guys are going to be mainly a wind and a hail threat over there in southeast Arkansas. And that's good, because what happens is your system moves away. It becomes more of a flooding threat down there in southeastern Arkansas. So you substitute the tornado threat for a flooding threat on Saturday here. And by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen the rainfall potential, but boy, it is up there here. And as a matter of fact, I think I can get it up on our show, and I'll show you guys that coming up here in just a second in terms of the rainfall potential. Because I've had a lot of people ask, are we actually going to get some decent rain out of this instead of just the severe weather? And I want to say yes, we are here. Matter of fact, I'll pull up the rainfall totals coming up here in just a second. There you go. So those are the rainfall totals out of this year, and you could see. Look at there, for much of central and southern Arkansas, 4 to 6 inches of rainfall. Could be some localized areas of 6+ here. And I think the majority of this will fall as we move into Saturday. I think the majority of this is going to be for Saturday, central and southern Arkansas here. So that's a good amount of rain here. I hope and pray we get this rain, in a couple of days stretch instead of all at once. Because if you get it all at once, it's just not going to help the drought situation here. Here in Arkansas. So I just wanted to show you guys that real quickly here. So give me just a second here. Let me get this out of the show, and I will go back over to our other graphics here, guys. So there's your timing, okay? And let me see what's going on here. Okay, so let's see here. I was able to use the demo on the website. You can use before subscribing here, but I haven't got a test for after subscribing. That's working here. John, if you can not our John, but the other one that was on here earlier. If you can get with him on YouTube, that would be great, because he's the one that's over the weather call stuff. So just a heads up for those that are in the risk for QLCS, they form fast, but little to no warning. And with that hatched risk, you do carry that strong tornado threat. That's a good comment. Hence why I said before, make sure you have multiple ways of getting warnings, guys. Okay. I understand it's scary. I understand it's a lot of information, and you guys have no idea the amount of work that goes into these graphics, guys, because it's a lot of information that we have to process for you guys to understand it better, okay? So I know it's information overload, and I understand the storm anxiety is high, but I promise you guys, we're going to be here, and we're going to keep you guys updated, okay? So how would you help people who live in apartments? And what would you suggest for, safety for tornadoes? If you live in an apartment complex, I live in a studio apartment with a closet, but let's see here, but our bathroom is next to another apartment here. So in that particular situation, every apartment is different. Some of them have, a safe place already designed for you to go. Some of them you may have to get to that lowest part of that apartment here. It really depends, honestly. But if you can't get to that lowest part, then what I would recommend is just trying to find that center part of that apartment, and it could be a closet, bathroom, etc., and getting into there if like I said, if that's the situation. Every apartment's different. I know some that have storm shelters built into them. I know some of them that don't. It just really depends. It's case by case with apartments here. So I could be here for an hour answering questions regarding weather call. Thank you so much, John. He's the one that's over weather call. Like I said before, just a quick shout out to him in that company. I fully believe it's going to help save lives going forward, not just here in Arkansas, but across the entire country here. Okay, so let me see here. I can't comment when I'm watching on YouTube. That is weird. Not sure what that's about here. I think everybody should have the ability to comment on YouTube here. So thanks for all the years of weather information. No problem at all. I hope I hope it's not confusing, and I hope it's easy to understand, because that's what the goal is, to make sure that you guys not only know what's coming and know, hey, there's severe weather, you got to get to shelter and all that, but I also want to make sure that the information that we're conveying out to you is easily understood, guys. Okay, so what is a good time frame for western and for Rogers that are in northwestern Arkansas? I've got you pulled up right here. Let's see here. I've got a food pantry appointment in the morning, and I've got to go to lunch at my kiddo's school around noon. You're going to be good to go over there for those plans first thing tomorrow morning. It's just tomorrow afternoon and going into tomorrow night is where things are going to get a little bumpy up there in northwestern Arkansas. I think I saw another one. Will the rainfall help offset the potential spin-ups? To answer your question, Case, it just depends. I have seen situations where you'll have a cold front that comes out from the west, right? But you get this lead batch. You get a good amount of heavy rainfall in front of it, and it wipes your entire threat out. I've seen that happen before here. So to answer your question, yes. If we were to get a situation where we get a lot of cloud cover, we get a lot of rainfall, throughout the day, tomorrow, whatnot, we don't have that cap in place, then yes, that will help reduce your overall severe threat, and we may be able to get out of this. But it just, I'm not going to say that, we're going to see that, but I would say that, hey, if that does happen, it would help offset it just a little bit. But northwestern Arkansas, I think with you being so close to that storm system, I think you do carry a really good tornado threat over there. It's just eastern and southern Arkansas. I think if we were to get enough heavy rainfall, that will help reduce what is already a low tornado threat over there in southern and eastern Arkansas here. Okay, so yeah, we got a new live, by the way. So you guys, if y'all want to join in, I appreciate it. I apologize for all those issues earlier. Let's see here. What time for the Fort Smith area here? We're going to go from 6 p.m. Let me see if my memory's right. From 6 p.m. to, let me get off the screen for a little bit. I think I can go this way. There we go. That's much better. We've got you from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. over there for the Fort Smith area here. I think like I said before, guys, if you end up having a situation where you've got to get stuff done first thing tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, I think you're going to be good to go, okay? It's just late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and tomorrow night is where you're going to have those problems here, guys. And speaking of the health threat, go check out our guys over there in Encore Paintless Dent Repair for the health potential, especially over there in western Arkansas. I know Corey, he's a really good guy over there in the Conway area. Give him a shout if you end up having some hail damage tomorrow here, and I think that will probably be a really good bet, especially across western and northwestern Arkansas here. Okay, so let's see here. Like I said before, I know everybody is trying to figure out the tornado threat and everything like that. So this is a really good comment from Caleb. Although the chances of tornadoes are there, we need the rainfall to get out of the drought. Unfortunately, I don't. Even if we get all this rain, and you guys are going to hate me for this, even if we get all this rain this weekend, I still don't think it gets us out of the drought. There's some places over there in eastern Arkansas that need over a foot of rain to get out of the current drought that we're in right now. It's some crazy stuff. So it's going to help, and I think if we get it in the right way, it will put a dent in it. But it's gonna. I would dare say we probably need a tropical system up here to get out of the current drought that we're in right now. But yeah, 2 feet. Yeah, 2 feet. 2 feet of rain. Yeah, I knew we've been dry. I knew we've been dry over the last couple of months here, but man, So even the rain that we get with this event, it's not going to clear us out of the drought. We need some more rainfall events to occur here in Arkansas without all the severe weather. So a general question here, but with the rainfall not cause the temperature difference needed, just trying to learn. So really good question here. So basically what happens is if you get a good amount of rain and a good amount of cloud cover, it brings your temperatures down. It prevents your atmosphere from becoming unstable, and that obviously brings down your severe threat to very, very little, even none at all. I have been doing this long enough that I have seen situations where the night before we were preparing for this massive amount of severe weather, we get to the day of, this heavy rain mass moves in and it scrubs the entire event. I've seen that happen before. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but I have seen similar situations like that happen in the past year. So to answer your question, you are 100% right. Yes, if we get something like that, it cuts your severe threat in half. That's normally what happens. But unfortunately, in this situation, you have a pretty big cap to work in place. And also with the storm system not being so close to Arkansas, we don't have a lot of what's called a lot of lift to promote thunderstorm activity, except for western and northwestern Arkansas. And then as the system gets closer, you notice how as your system gets closer, right, your storm chances increase. So without that system being so close to Arkansas, that's why I'm saying we're not going to see a lot of heavy rainfall tomorrow. But on a normal situation, on normal severe threat, if you do get a lot of heavy rainfall and cloud cover, that does cut down your severe threat here. Okay, so let me see here. I think that is pretty much it. Austin, yeah, I got that graphic right here, man. That's going to be it. So like I said before, for our folks over here, I'm going to go break this graphic down real quick. So my folks over here from Blytheville down to El Dorado, you're in that yellow area for potential scene isolated tornadoes. Western Arkansas from Mena up towards the Fayetteville area, you're in that level 2 area. Now, pretty much what this means is you're going to have that potential of seeing tornadoes, some of them which could be strong over there in western and northwestern Arkansas here, okay? So I think that's pretty much it here, guys. I think that's all the comments I'm seeing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go back over to the timing map real quickly here. So I'm going to step off the screen. I'm going to break this down, okay? So for my folks over there in western Arkansas, we're going to go from a timing from 5 p.m. to, let's go 4 o'clock in the morning here. I think you're most likely will be from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then my folks in that level 2 area here from Mountain Home all the way down towards El Dorado, we're going to go from 11 p.m. tomorrow night, not tonight, but tomorrow night, Friday night, midnight, Friday night going into Saturday morning, all the way till 8 o'clock. And then I think things should come to an end, severe weather-wise, by 10 a.m. Saturday morning. But the problem by then is you will still have regular thunderstorms, and that's where your flooding threat will start to kind of materialize throughout the day on Saturday. Further east, we're going to go 1 a.m. tomorrow night over there from Blytheville all the way down towards Crossett Lake Village. I think a 2 a.m. tomorrow night to 10 a.m. Saturday morning is a good time frame for you guys. And I think this severe threat should come to an end by 11 o'clock Saturday morning. But obviously, we will retweak this timing map as things progress throughout the day tomorrow, guys. So that's all I got for you guys this evening. Obviously, we will have graphics as soon as this live stream is over. And we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.